Hello and welcome back to Box and Bouts Unleashed. Today I want to do a quick video making my prediction for the entire Usyk vs Fury 2 undercard, including the preliminary card as I have displayed here. And for this I'm going to use the Typology website, which allows me to show you all my predictions, and my reasoning behind it will be discussed throughout this entirety of the video. I hope this becomes a quick video and I can upload it soon for you guys to see it. So anyways, let's get started with the first preliminary bout of Muhammad Alako versus Joshua Ocampo. Here I've picked Muhammad Alako to go to a decision because he's only a prospect for now, only having one fight, but he's facing off against a journeyman Joshua Ocampo who with 8 wins, 33 losses and 5 draws. I feel like Muhammad Alako is expected to win this bout, and I see it too, and I don't think there's any reasoning for him to not take a clear decision against an old veteran. And we're going to be moving on to Peter McGreal facing up against late replacement Rice Edwards. Even though this is a late replacement, I still give Rice Edwards respect for taking this fight and Peter McGreal for still staying on this card, as many people would have just moved out of this card and not tried to fight at all. But congratulations to both, but I still see Peter McGreal securing a 7th round KO, as he's the more active of the two, as he's coming off a 2-month layoff versus Rice Edwards' 7-month layoff, and he was already in a solid training camp before this fight. So I see a 7th round KO in Peter McGreal's future. Moving on, we have the WBC International Heavyweight bout between Andre Nowitzki and Edgar Ramirez. For this one, it's a close bout, as I see Andre Nowitzki's skill over surpassing Edgar Ramirez, but both similar records and experience and similar dimensions makes it hard for me to pick a clear winner. But from my research and understanding, I see Andre Nowitzki getting an 8th round KO over Edgar Ramirez. It will possibly be a tough bout, but I still see Andre going through and showing his skill and getting that KO. Moving on, we have Daniel Lepin versus Dylan Collin, both undefeated, with Dylan Collin being 14-0 while Daniel Lepin is 10-0. Daniel Lepin is an Usyk fighter, so he trains under him, and he has a lengthy amateur experience and boxing background, so I expect him to win a clear decision, but it will possibly be a tough bout against Dylan Collin, who is also undefeated like him and possibly has good experience due to the age difference between the two. And although having a significantly less height advantage over Daniel Lepin, I still see this as a tough bout for both. But Daniel Lepin is going to take this decision in my opinion. And moving on, we have Isaac Lowe versus Lee McGregor. Isaac Lowe is riding a 4-fight win streak after his brutal knockout loss to Nick Ball. He will be facing Lee McGregor, where I see Isaac Lowe taking another decision victory, as even though he has 2 KOs in his last 4 wins, I still see a decision in his future, as he is still rebuilding himself and he's taking a boxer like a pro rather than a more boxer puncher style. And Lee McGregor, he's still an active fighter, but I don't think he can get past Isaac Lowe, and I see Isaac Lowe taking a decision. Moving on, we have a heavyweight bout which I'm interested in, and that's Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. Although being both similar in height and possibly reach, I still see Johnny Fisher taking this bout easily with a KO in the 4th round. I see his power being too much for the veteran Dave Allen, and I see a possible international bout with Johnny Fisher, possibly a BBBOC bout or a Commonwealth bout in the future, maybe against Wardley, Fraser Clark or many other boxers, but we'll see in the future. But I pick a 4th round KO for Johnny Fisher. Moving on to one of the most anticipated bouts for me is Moses Atuma versus Dempsey McKean. Dempsey McKean, the clear veteran with the major experience over the 19-year-old Moses Atuma. He has a similar height to Moses Atuma, and he has more experience in boxing as previously stated. But he's still coming off a knockout loss to Filipe Govic over a year ago, while Atuma is coming off a good win over Marius Walsh just 3 months ago by KO. Atuma is looking to break Mike Tyson's record to become a champion, which I don't see even being close to being possible, but I see him pulling on through and getting a 9th round KO over Dempsey McKean due to his youth and his power that he's displayed in his previous outings. In the future, I hope to see him face against WBA regular champion Kubrat Pulev to secure a belt, and possibly even fight for a vacant WBA super bout if that were ever to occur. But I see good things for Moses Atuma's future, and I see him getting past Dempsey McKean. Now moving on to the co-main event, which was supposed to be Israel Madrimov versus Sergey Boychuk, we have Ishmael Davis facing off against Sergey Boychuk. Usyk, I expect him to take this clear to a 7th round KO finish over Ishmael Davis. Ishmael Davis is just coming off a majority decision loss to Josh Kelly, almost getting him out of there, but Usyk, although coming off a loss, had come off a loss against Virgil Ortiz, a top 10 super welterweight, and it was a very controversial loss where many thought he won. I see Usyk breaking down Ishmael Davis and securing a 7th round TKO exact right now. I feel like a TKO will be more precise as he breaks down people with overwhelming combinations and his pressure style. But thanks to Ishmael Davis for stepping up where many others wouldn't. And now to our main event where I have the most to say. We have Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury. In my opinion, Usyk is going to take this decision, but it's going to be more clear and unanimous this time. But I still feel like Tyson Fury doesn't really have anything that he can change. Because although he's going to say he's coming in heavier, he's feeling a lot stronger, all those years of abuse to his body, all the damage he's taken, not only from the Wilder bouts, but even the Steve Cunningham bout, and all the times he's gotten knocked down, and his lazy habits have possibly caught up to him, as Usyk keeps a more healthy habit and was a more disciplined athlete compared to Tyson Fury, who went on a cool hiatus where he was on a coke binge allegedly. And even after his loss to Usyk, there was even footage that came out of him falling out of a bar. But we don't talk about that, but it's still clear something that we should keep an eye on, as Tyson Fury's lifestyle is clearly not set up to allow him to win this fight. And I still feel like he might have some possible, I think trauma you would call it, or just a fear of Usyk's power. As okay, let me pull it back real quick, because earlier this year we had a bout in October against Bakram Muradzalia, IBF super welterweight champion, and Tim Tszyu, former WBO super welterweight champion. Tim Tszyu, although coming in confident and making all those empty threats saying that he would finish Bakram Muradzalia in the first round and wanted to make a quick turnaround, it was clear in the fight that he was still like harmed in a way, but not physically, more psychologically. As you see when they clashed heads for the first time, it wasn't anything major, but Tim Tszyu instinctively went to wipe away a cut that he thought was on his forehead. Many of you would think that's a random thing to say, but in his previous fight with Sebastian Fundora, when he got cut open badly, I feel like that effect still is lingering in Tim Tszyu's mind, as he knows if he gets cut open in the fight, he's gonna lose this fight and he really can't do anything about it. So I feel like that effect over the Sebastian Fundora fight really harmed the way he thought of approaching this fight, as he didn't approach it well, and it allowed himself to get caught badly multiple times in the fight, and this fake confidence he brought in didn't really help him either, and that's what led him to get brutally finished in the 3rd round. So I feel like this was going to also happen in the Tyson Fury bout with Usyk, as Tyson Fury looked good. He actually had great moments in the fight, but that single left hand in the 9th round that wobbled him from each corner of the ring and almost got him out of there really could be the defining factor that harms Tyson Fury's approach in the bout. As I feel like if Tyson Fury has a good moment coming in and he gets clipped by a left hand, all the confidence that was in the bout that got built up would be instantly denied and just dismissed entirely, as Fury would probably try and go on a boxer approach and try not to push a pace. But the problem is, the only way I see you can even try and beat Usyk is to put on at least a decently strong pace. But even then, Fury is not good at putting on the pressure against somebody like Usyk, as I feel like most of his knockdowns came from him trying to push on a pace that wasn't even realistic at that point. The Wilder bout and the Steve Cunningham bouts, even the Usyk bout, he was throwing in like lengthy combinations, but it wasn't really built for him, as he would throw them too close to range of these fighters. He threw it too close for Wilder, who had the power to get him with a clean right hand. He threw it too close against Steve Cunningham, who's way shorter than him, meaning that it forces his hand to be very low to the ground. And same with Usyk. Fury can handle the fighting on the inside pretty well, as it requires him to have his looping reach just go through the opponent's guard. But when that happens, the opponent has clear view to Tyson Fury's chin, and that's when they can clip him the best. So in my opinion, if Tyson Fury gets clipped by a left hand and we see him go to his corner and he looks distraught, or even in the fight he's constantly on the back foot not wanting to engage, yeah, the fight would be lost to him. But for now, if Fury does all the things he's saying and he's putting on weight and he's feeling confident, I still don't see it being enough to beat Usyk, as Usyk is just a higher level of boxer than him, and that was Fury's entire game plan, just being the better boxer, but he can't do it this time around. Well, anyways, that's just my prediction for this Fury vs Usyk undercard. I'll make a post-fight reaction as soon as the fight is over. I'll even admit if I'm wrong and show my results if I'm wrong, but we'll cover that when the fight approaches. But I'll see you guys next round. It's been your boy TJ.